Did you ever want a stroller that can drive itself, just not with your baby in it? You know, just in case you're strolling with your baby, but also so late for an appointment that you can't afford to stop walking in order to take your baby out of the stroller to calm them down? Don't worry. The new Glüxkind Ella, one of the stars of this year's Consumers Electronics Show, has you covered. For only $4,000, your stroller can push itself, provided that your kid isn't sitting in it. The Glüxkind Ella is, to me, a perfect example of what happens when people from one sphere, in this case tech, meaning electronic gadgets and AI and stuff, try to innovate in an entirely different sphere without any real respect that that other sphere has its own pre-existing needs and standards. The first 100 models of the Ella have already been pre-sold for a whopping $380,000. Meaning, presumably, that as many as 100 people were willing to buy this stroller for almost $4,000, and yet despite this fact, I can't find the most basic information anywhere online regarding how this thing actually functions as a stroller, including no demo of how it folds, information about whether it folds with the seat attached or whether it has a standing fold, no explanation for why it clearly has no suspension, but clearly has wobble problems with the front wheels, despite the designers coming from snowy Canada, where you think they'd have known better. I can't even get a clear statement of the model's weight. On the website, it says 30 pounds, but after listening to the rather evasive answers of one of the Ella's creators in an interview, my current understanding is that this is the weight of the chassis after detaching the lawnmower-sized battery pack and the cedar bassinet. Is it necessary to do this every time one wants to fold and pack away the Ella in the trunk? Or is an AI-assisted trunk-mounted forklift your next product? I'll tell you one thing, it sure looks like you need a lot of dudes to carry the thing into the C.E.S show. Or the weight capacity for the shopping basket, where, from the website, interviews, and reviews, I've locked in the standard 50 pounds in the seat, and I know that the motor is capable of pushing up to 100 pounds in total. But product information states that the shopping basket can hold 6 shopping bags. 6 shopping bags of what? Cotton balls or sand? 6 shopping bags is a pretty vague weight capacity. Then, from the other side, there are also questions about how the super ultra high-tech AI and sensors will affect real, everyday stroller situations. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you hunt through all their social media feeds, you can probably find the tech specs, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about. For example, a kid's gonna outgrow that tiny leg rest pretty fast, and there's no way they're gonna reach their feet all the way down to that epically low front frame until they're at least 14. So the natural place to put their feet is gonna be that fancy Star Trek sensor array. Can it take this? What if you don't want to give them more pudding and they start kicking it? Can it take that? Next question. The Ella supposedly has a magical 360-degree protection bubble to avoid obstacles. In the demonstration video, the Ella veers around a dude standing still, yet still frankly looking like he's a bit scared of getting smacked in the ankle. How well does this do with moving obstacles? If there are 2 other people also in a hurry to get where they're going, but going in the opposite direction from me down the sidewalk, is the Ella gonna get scared and stop in front of me, so both I and my baby slam right into the handle, while I'm supposedly paying all my attention to the baby, as this is the purported reason for getting a self-driving stroller that can't drive with my baby in it in the first place? Second question, similar topic. The Ella supposedly knows its proximity from you via your cell phone, right? In order to stall while going down hills and so on. Sheesh, talk about putting a lot of faith in having a good signal. This means that I can't store my phone in a pocket on the stroller, right? If I do, will it drive off on its own? If it does turn out to be too heavy to stow in the trunk, can it just follow the phone in my pocket while I drive my car? Last question. Were any stroller engineers consulted at all when building the stroller, or just parking assist tech guys? Last question. Don't you think a 2-year limited warranty is a little too limited for a product that's this untried yet also expensive? The Ella is not the first of its sort, by the way. High-tech, self-driving stroller designers have been making prototypes, running crowdfunds, and partying in Silicon Valley since at least 2016. Would you like a stroller that filters the air and controls humidity, but is big as a horse and can only fit your baby for the first 6 months? Or a stroller that's not only self-driving and can sense the environment, but also controls bassinet temperature and can warm your bottles for you? Investors are still waiting to get their money back on this one. Look, I watched the Jetsons as a kid too. I get that self-driving strollers seem like a cool idea, but the truth is that, without the ability to at least have your kid on board while they're driving themselves, there's kind of no point. And even then, if the Glüxkind Ella ever makes it past the tech romance it's currently enjoying as a young startup, it's eventually going to be judged against other real strollers, based on real stroller characteristics, like how heavy is it to carry up the stairs? How does it fare off-road? How comfortable is the seat going to be past 2 years old? How much does it cost versus other strollers? And if it's still $4,000, does it deliver enough real-world value as a stroller to actually justify the price difference? Or will it wind up being judged the same way as a previous high-tech flop, the 4Moms Origami, that couldn't self-drive but could self-fold and also had a perfectly useless LCD screen to let you know how cold you already knew it was because you were outside too? Namely, as, quote, an interesting stroller, but what it has in flashy gadgetry, it equally lacks in usability and maneuverability. Okay, last question. For $1,400 with suspension, with a much more reasonably sized battery, weighing only 15 to 16 kilos with all the parts, and having the only really actually valuable features of the Ella, namely a motor to help grandparents and shamelessly lazy people get up hills or over terrain, to slow your descent down hills, and to provide that fancy rocking mode. I can't believe I'm saying this given how gimmicky this stroller is as well, but wouldn't it be better to just get the E-pream? Especially now that it's only $1,700 for the infamous super gold-plated exclusive rare edition Jeremy Scott Wings edition? Just my 2 cents. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle-related information, though do note that there are no self-driving models included here. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.